Buddy, she's gonna catch you play a PlayStation. She's gonna leave.
No. Blocking on ready at the same time. With
Yeah,
3
rock
seconds
up
to
going,
do.
what? So you're playing PlayStation? No, I'm fucking out.
Now.
Go out.
Oh
Oh,
So I was wondering when the
it
lobby
just
had
stops
started yet.
before it just... Well, to get ready.
What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. We're back for another Dynamic Nights esports video, but it's something a little bit different this time around, which you can probably tell from the title of this video. As you probably would have heard a little bit earlier on, nice bit of banter that was going on in the lobby with everybody just sort of, well, a couple of the guys trying to unready to before the lobby sort of started itself here. But okay, so let me see if I can explain this briefly. Obviously, this would normally be the next round. Obviously, was going to be the Italian Grand Prix, but then the Italian Grand Prix was put off because there was a lot of people away for the real life Australian Grand Prix, which obviously, if it had obviously you would have obviously would know by now. It obviously did not go ahead because of the pandemic that's going on around the world at the moment, obviously, which in the end there was an option that was put out by the admins of Dynamic Nights Esports, but it was either a couple of options, whether to go on with the Italian Grand Prix, which would have been pretty much the next round, or do something completely and utterly different. As you can see here, I think we decided to literally put the Italian, well, we did, I think by overwhelming majority, to put the Italian Grand Prix off for basically another week and do this special one-off event, which is basically a 100% race around Australia. You heard right, a 100% race around Australia. Obviously, it's obviously a big one-off event. This one is so. That was really. Well, it was put out, obviously, whether you wanted to drive in this event, in this race or not, because like I mentioned before, there were quite a few guys that were either had travelled to Melbourne for the Grand Prix, that were, and obviously there was a few that actually live that probably not too far away from the Grand Prix. So I think there's a few guys that probably couldn't make it because obviously they were still either stuck in Melbourne or they were slowly but surely changing their plans around, obviously, with what occurred with what happened in the Australian Grand Prix. But anyway, it's a one-off. Basically it's a one-off event. Maybe hopefully there's going to be a bit more one-off events in the near future here. But we'll jump aboard here. I'll shut off for a second as Lazy Tower goes for a spin coming out of turn 2 there and loses a bit of front wing. Decides to basically go backwards for a little bit. He does. He's just waiting for a gap before he just spins the car around here. So there you go. But yeah, I'm just going to try. Obviously, we're going to go through qualifying very, very quickly here. Obviously, you would have seen. I obviously did. I think it was a couple of runs I did already. Original lap I set was a 21.009, but then the next couple of laps. What was it from memory? Well, second lap I invalidated, obviously, but I decided to go for another lap, I think from memory. But then, yeah, that's right. I was about 4.5 tenths up. By that time, obviously, I just decided to abort the lap and obviously come back to the pit lane, obviously with the amount of time that was left in the session anyway. So here we go. We're about to go out here for our final flying lap here. Literally, you waited till like the last minute here.
We go reasonable pace, I shouldn't.
And just waiting for a few guys to just go by, which I think one of them was Alex, who I think's just had a bit of an off here. Now, this obviously, like I said, was first in, first serve sort of thing. So, and obviously you can tell I'm not in my usual Haas car that I usually in. Obviously, we wanted to mix things up a little bit. Well, some people mix things up a little bit with seats. Other people, they've kept their seats that they're usually known for. Anyway, so anyway, so we're in the racing point for this one. But this is the flying lap, my fastest lap of the qualifying session. So around turn 3 and 4 we go. Don't take a lot of exit curve there. Just wanted to be very, very cautious. Now fly through turn 5. And now into turn 6 we go. Green in sector 1 by about, 2 3/4 tenths of a second. Up in our previous best lap time here. So I think we're just coming up to a bit of traffic here. Can't actually tell who this is. So, there we go. And I think it's Reed as we nudge the wall just. As I was just checking to make sure I had a front wing still, which thankfully I did. But I did cost myself a little bit of time by going into the grass as we fly through turn 11 and 12 through there as Toddy now goes to the top there. But it doesn't last long because Zach now goes back to the top with a 20.0. I think it was pretty close between those two in the end here. But it felt like a pretty decent flying lap here. And if I didn't go in the grass between turns 10 and 11, I probably would have gave myself a little bit more time here. But around the final corner, let's see where this lap time puts us here. We go position 3 with a 120.278, which is, I think this is the quickest lap time I think I have done maybe around Melbourne. I don't actually know from memory. It's been a long time. Too long between drinks, I think. I think the last race I did here was Racespec, and did I did a 20 point? I don't think I did a 20.2 from memory. But anyway, Zach gets pole, obviously. No surprise. Toddy on the front row, but we're P3 alongside Spilly, I think it is. My teammate for this one is Wogboy. He's P10, I think, from memory. I don't actually know. You would have seen on screen there. It's a little bit hard for my previous screen because I think when I was trying to load this video into my editing software, it sort of crashed my program. But anyway, as you can probably hear in the background, and obviously you can hear the party chat in the background there. So again, apologies if you don't like it, but you're basically stuck with it. So yeah, we had a bit of a, well, we were all set to go, literally, and then we had a bit of a glitch. Well, I mean, there is a way this Reedy slams into the back of me there. Somehow we get a 5-second time penalty for that. I don't know how. Aaron, you can see, is just trying to take me out there, obviously, but yeah, obviously you get away with it. I think that might have been Jay Schmidt just saying if you're out of the race, you're out of the race. But anyway, obviously we had to reset the lobby because obviously didn't want anybody to miss out on this one. But someone forgot that he was in a different car for this race, being ex-Jay Schmidt. As I told him, basically, I told him to just basically get the fuck out of my car.
Just get too used to getting in it.
Yeah, you could tell he's very well known, well used to getting into a racing point because it is his normal racing car. But we get back onto the grid, we're somehow P4. I don't know exactly how that has worked. I think someone may have had it. Maybe he's done a bit. Not quite done the qualifying. Or this was obviously custom grid, obviously. But anyway, we get ourselves off for the formation lap here. I mean, I'm not complaining too much here. Obviously, it is just a one-off race, and it is just having a little bit of fun here. And obviously, it is a bit of fun, a bit serious as well. Obviously, as you can see, I'm just literally trying to well, you probably won't hear me, obviously, but because I didn't include my audio. But I was literally venting in the party about why I got dropped once. Me and Spilly, literally, we've switched around. So. Again, I'm not being biased anyway, but
fucking get into it. So what sort of fucking league people are? Who's running this fucking shit?
Can't remember who was going to be told that to. Might have been either Lazy Towel or NBC Alcatraz. I think I can't actually remember here. As you can see here, this is like normal for the. This is pretty much normal for a formation lap.
Jump up and down, Roscoe. I need this set up, mate.
I can't remember what.
Everybody retire car.
Oh, someone's.
I think that might have been Schmitty just doing his best to his best Italian impression or with his engineer work of retire the car. But anyway, we reset to the grid, obviously. But obviously on the formation lap, it's normal. Obviously Zach does it a little bit different on the formation lap. Obviously wants to slow the pack up to make sure everybody's sort of close. Which I mean I have no dramas with anyway, but we've sort of reset, and now we're on the grid. Now we're ready to go here, I think. So 100% race, 58 laps around this joint. Let's see if we can survive. Here we go. Get the lights on. 5 red lights. let's do it around Albert Park for 58 laps. And it's a decent start there from Toddy against Zach, as we get a decent start as well between us and Spilly. Someone goes up the inside there. We get a little bit of a touch there. It might have been Schmitty that may have had a little bit of over there as Spilly goes into the wall. He's only lasted 2 corners, and I think he's dropping spots. I would not be surprised if he's got wing damage. I would not be surprised at all there. I think there was a bit of stuff going on in the background there between, I think Banana Josh might have had a light glitch or something. I don't actually know as we pick up our first track limits warning there, as both Toddy and Zach are starting to pull away already on lap 1, mind you, as we're obviously back up into position 3, and we got F1 Amazing Hour in P4, and this is actually the first time I've raced F1 Amazing Hour. I've sort of got to know him in the past with sort of other leagues, you could say, but I obviously say about the other league because I know Dynamic Nights Esports won't like me mentioning the other league. But anyway, lap 1's completed. Toddy sets the provisional fastest lap at the time being, and he started to pull a bit of a gap away to Zach as we pick up our second track limits warning. So not doing too well at the moment with track limits already, and it's only sort of the start of lap 2 here. As we go purple through the middle sector here. We've sort of broken away a little bit from F1 Amazing Hour. But yeah, like I said, this is the first time I've raced F1 Amazing Hour. And I think this is actually his first race on the wheel, because literally F1 Amazing Hour was one of the quickest pad players, as Toddy sets a 26 something or other. We set a 25... 25.860. You probably would have seen it on the screen there anyway by the time I've said it anyway. But we set the fastest lap of the race, which
it's 100% race.
I mean, that was a great start here.
Make touch gearbox where it's going to be high for you.
Oh yeah, fuck.
As Aaron just letting Toddy know about gearbox issues, because if you haven't seen previous videos in the past, obviously I've included footage of Toddy. Basically, he's been teammates with me either in Race Spec or Dynamic Nights Esports. But you will know that Toddy does like to go down the gearbox quite a lot during the races. And being obviously in a 50% race, I don't think he's obviously had any dramas with the gearbox, but in a 100% race, might be a little bit different here. Well, unless we get safety cars, or virtual safety cars, which is a very high possibility considering it's a 58-lap race. So anything is really possible here, as so it's definitely one to keep an eye on as we pick up our first time penalty of the race on lap 5. As you can see, I think Zach's getting right up to the back there of Toddy. We've still got F1 Amazing Hour right behind us on our clacker there, as literally I think Zach is looking again, going through turns 11 and 12, but again not quite close enough here. But again, we're sort of just keeping F1 Amazing Hour pretty trying to break away from Amazing Hour as best we can, but he's still keeping in touch with us here, as Alex has left the session. I think he may have had a spin coming onto the final corner, and I think he's actually left the session there. Yeah, I don't know why, considering it's a 58-lap race anyway, but lap 7 I think this is. As you can see here, we're actually caught up to the back of Alex, and I think there was a bit of front wing that may have just disappeared off to the left-hand side there, and this is getting awkward because, like I said, in Dynamic Nights Esports, the cars are not, the lap traffic is not ghosted, so it really hurt me, my run there, and obviously to the top 2 guys, and gave F1 Amazing Hour a quick run there, as Zach's obviously coming to the pit lane, so there's confirmation that it was him that got front wing damage. I dare say he wouldn't have been too thrilled about that one, so we got elevated up into P2. And Toddy obviously still remains the race leader, but he's got a bit of a gap. I think it's 2 odd seconds from memory, if I can correct myself. Like I said, my preview screen is not brilliant. Like I said, I've had to disable a few things so I can actually do this sort of thing. But there's the replay of the start. Get a little bit squeezed from Spilly. I think that was XJ Schmidt that was in the Haas, and then just got on the curb there. Did Spilly just got on the power too early or something, or what? I don't know. But then so he lost the back end, and yeah, the rest is history. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if he got front wing damage here. He's on board with Very Lazy Towel here in the Ferrari. This is obviously very different from what his usual one. I think he drives in the master tier, I think, from memory, but there was a little bit of a glitch there. I think that was mainly from his, because he did live stream this one As I think someone was just getting out of the way. Oh, up the middle is not ideal there from Lazy Tail. Squeeze there from both Galaz and I think El Tonki, I think is the other one. But then here comes Banana Josh, obviously trying to make recover here. And I think Banana's a little bit known for a bit of lag. As you can see, that red X is not very ideal through there. But now he's trying to get a move done on El Tonki, but not really doing much there. But here we go. This will be a much better run here if you can get up the inside here going into turn 11. We'll have the inside line here. It literally goes side by side, and I think El Tonki will back out of that one, and Lazy Tail moves himself up into 17th place. Now back we go to James Cruz, who's watching on all this drama going on in the background here. You can see you can probably tell from his fuel load that he's literally gone way low on fuel there. So there's what happened. I think possibly Alex may have had a moment there coming through turn 11 and 12. As you can see, they both hit the tower go actually very wide there. As I think he might get the run here. As I think who's that behind us? Reedy in the Renault trying to make a move, but not quite. No can do there. As we go to James. That was Reedy. I think's had a moment coming through. The final corner there. It's James trying to sort of hold him off here, but I think he's just going to let him go here. There might be a little bit of lag there as well. Yes, there is. So James is sort of a driver who's sort of learning to learn with no assist there, as I think someone else has had a bit of an off there through turn 11 and 12. That might be the first time you've seen many cars have either moments or crash through there. I think that was Banana Josh. You can see a Tower gets a much better drive out of the corner there. He did start on the medium tyres, did Lazy Tail, so he's up now into 15th place. But yeah, back we go to James, who's now putting pressure on Alex. Again, a little bit of lag through there. Alex, I think, had to shortcut the chicane there a little bit, so yeah, that won't certainly help things. But I think James gets the move. James is sort of getting used to no assists, you could say. He's not a quick driver. I think he's in the lower tiers in Dynamic Nights. Just getting an update on the race leader, who's really started to pull away here on lap 8. Toddy has literally pulled out of the gap. He's running the Williams, which he normally does in the other race spec league. We'll get an update as well from F1 Amazing out behind.
Just 3.25%. It's a great check.
Come on, Nancy.
As he's got a 3-second time penalty as well, and he's got someone else behind him here. Actually, I think Amazing has made a little error coming through turn 2 there. Might have just lost the rear end or something on the curb. He probably would have seen it in my mirrors if you look very closely there. But my teammate Wogboy's now up into peak 3, so this is looking decent all round for Racing Point. All round here as we now cut to the end of lap 9 here. As you can see, we've really lost a bit of ground there to Toddy. As I think there was yellow flags coming through turns 11 and 12. As we might be able to see if there was anybody. Yeah, there it is. I think it was, I don't know who it was, one of the McLarens. Might have been Tear Lunacy, if I'm not mistaken, as Zach makes the move up the inside there into turn 13. But then Tower comes back into turn 14, but I think Zach should have the inside line here into turn 15, and yes, he does get the move done here. Now, it's obviously going to be very tricky with the strategy here. Obviously, Zach was a little bit compromised with what happened with the lap traffic, so he might be on the 2-stop here as almost goes around, does James, but just manages to get away with it there. Thankfully, nobody was around in there. I think Tay Lunacy was actually in the pit lane. They're doing a stop. We cut through lap 10, I should say. We're sort of keeping, when we usually pull away, I think, a little bit from Wogboy behind. It was keeping close handy as well, but through turns 11 and 12, we were just rapid, literally through there. I felt really comfortable, obviously going down a couple of gears, as I think who's this Bodhod and somebody else having a battle in front there, Lazy Tower. But you can see here, down the front straight here, I mean, I was running very lowish wings around here, but I mean, Wogboy definitely seemed to have good pace around here to start this race. So this is the yellow flags there. I think it's one of the Red Bulls. Might be Banana Josh from the sound of what was said in the party. Yeah, I think Tony was saying about if the safety car came out, it sort of ruined the strategy a little bit here. As now back we go to Tao, putting pressure now on Bodhod. in the Alfa Romeo, who's got the better Ferrari power here down into turn 3. I think Tao might have it. Yes, he does. So Tao goes up into 13th spot here. But back we go to our point of view, getting an update on the teammate.
Tyres are 10 laps old. The time last lap was at 1
Hold on
minute
much longer.
26.8. They have a
How is that bloody track? Oh, wait, what?
Again, 3 seconds is also for Wog Boys. There's another yellow flag down at 11s and sort of the exit at turn 12 there. So I think looked like a Toro Rosso there. So we'll have to wait and see who it was. Actually, we'll might see a replay, but now here as we go through turn 11 and 12. So that was actually James Cruz that had a moment through here. Just glances the wall coming out of turn 12. Did cut the turn 12 bit as he went through there, and might have had it might be a little bit bumpy coming through there. I don't actually know, but yeah, I've seen him in the wall, and his tyres are literally on fire there. As someone's Banana, I think there was Banana Josh, was not happy with something there, as we're slowly but surely catching up. I think that's James in the foreground there. And again, Wogboy is again putting pressure on us here. I mean, I was running very low setup here, but Wogboy looks like he's got some pretty decent pace all round, as I think Toddy's put James a lap down. We're obviously going past him because of the blue flags. Obviously, we're sort of dragging Wogboy along with us here, which is pretty decent, I should say. That's where the 2 racing points are as well. But F1 Amazing Hour's not too far behind as well. I think Wogboy got a little bit close there on lap 13 there. We managed to get away with those. We lose the back end coming out of turn 4. But we were managing to hang on for the time being. As back we go here to James going around again. The big loop around. So just backing out of the road and just letting... We have to wait a little bit here for all these cars to go flying past here. Just filling in the gap here. It was one of the Mercs. I think that might have been Aaron. I don't know. Could have been Zach. I can't tell from this one anyway. But there's someone else going by through there as well. Back we go to Lazy Towel, who's putting pressure here on Garlaz for... This is 12th position. And Tao's going to do around the outside. He might be able to hang on here if he can get this run through here. Very, very tight. Again, difference in the tyre compounds. But Tao gets the move done around the outside. Gets up into 12th place. But I think... sorry, I nearly said Bolthod there. Garlas, I don't think we're too far behind him. He might have another go here with the DRS down the front straight here down to turn 1. He thinks about it. It decides better of it, I think. And then it just sort of drops away a little bit there. So Tao gets into 12th position there. It's now a virtual safety car has now been deployed. Because I think there's been a bit of a crash up here. Yes, there has been. It's with McLaren of, I think that's Tan Lunacy that's crashed out. As sort of discussing in the party about what to do with what to do with pit stops there, as James goes around. Again, under the virtual safety car. And you can see literally his tyres, his rears were still on fire, but now they go obviously a little bit more on fire when you obviously you get on the throttle very, very, very quickly here. But now the virtual safety car is now ending. Sort of a little bit surprised maybe that the safety car didn't actually come out there, but you see now my teammates actually come into the pit lane here, so I don't know whether he was planning on coming into the pit lane originally or whether he was hoping the virtual safety car would stay out a little bit longer there, as I think someone said that Spilly had a moment somewhere along the line here, as his teammate Tao's gone off the road here at turn 9 and 10, so he might be under attack again from Garlas. And again, the soft tyres we may be starting to wear out a little bit here. I don't actually know. I mean, the softs on my car didn't feel too bad here, so we're literally just we're pushing on, keeping it going on as long as we can, as F1 Amazing Hour comes into the pit lane. Like I was saying with him, he was obviously, this is one of his first races that he's doing on the wheel, as obviously he was literally a very, very quick driver on the pad, but he's now made the switch over to the wheel, and yeah, don't be surprised come F1 2020, well, maybe the latter part when F1 2019 comes to an end, the 2020 comes out, that he'll be very rapid, you could say, with pace-wise. But Toddy came in, you saw then on that last lap. So now we take the race lead for the time being here, and you'll be able to see here. I can see it. I've changed my tyres to actually the hard compounder tyres. So I mean, I was a little bit tempted to maybe try maybe a bit of a one-stop around here. I mean, it might be a little bit of a risk, I know, but as James goes off again, coming through turn 12, thankfully it's only a little nudge, I think, at the exit of turn 12. He'd be able to get back going again. I don't think he's actually got any wing damage from all that, which is very, very lucky for James, to say the least here, as he's going to come now into the pit lane here, take it nice and cautiously through here. As oh, gee whiz. Might have just taken the pit limiter off there. He's just coming into the pit lane. He's taken the speed sign with him through the pit lane there. But anyway, here he comes to his Toro Rosso garage. Going to chuck on the mediums. Yeah, he's might actually survive without any wing damage. That is quite remarkable, I've got to say. But it was a bit of a moment there on the bottom of your screen there, as you can probably tell in the background, that I think Aaron may have had a bit of a lag or a desync moment, because Toddy was right behind him there, and he's literally just asking Aaron to let him go. Obviously, they were obviously on. I think they were on different strategies. Aaron, I think, started outside the 10 or something or other, but he's going on. I think he's maybe on the hard compounded tyres. I can't actually remember. There's actually Banana Cake Pie is now out of the Grand Prix. You can hear all the commotion going on in the background. As I think something's happened. Yeah, because I think there's a few of us here. I think what happened in the incident actually are in the same party here. So he's James. I think this might have been just after his pit stop here, and I must say this is a little bit of an awkward spot with where he is. Okay, that would probably explain a lot there. But yeah, I mean, that's a very, very awkward spot. I mean, if he was on the right-hand side, maybe they might have avoided all of that, but not the case. So for a poor old Banana Cake Pie is Garlas. There was a little bit of look up the inside there, but I don't think he realised that you can't pass under yellow flags. So probably would have gotten the legal overtake anyway. But yeah, Banana unfortunately is now out of the Grand Prix there. So maybe something for James to work on. But anyway, well, might be something for James to work on maybe in the near future. But yeah, it was probably a little bit awkward where he was on the left-hand side, literally on the racing line. I think a few guys were pretty close to him there, as we're now catching up to more light traffic with Banana Josh, as we're now about to put him a lap down, I should say, as I try to get my voice back. But literally, I'm not even I don't think I'm halfway through this video yet, and I'm losing my, well, not quite losing my voice, but if I do take drinks in between this, then you'll understand. But lap 19, we're still literally pushing on here, so just keeping doing what we're doing here, really. Pace didn't seem too bad all round, really. I think there might have been yellow flags there in the background, so someone's had a bit of an off there in the Toro Ross. So actually that might explain who James Crew's now out of the Grand Prix. So unfortunately for him, he's had enough. Looks like he's crashed between 11 and 12 there, I think. So and surprisingly, that didn't actually bring out a safety car. I think that's where his car was crashed out. It wasn't actually too bad in the end there. It's now, I think Banana Josh is now out of the Grand Prix. Yes, he is. So he's maybe crashed down at turn 11 and 12. That now has brought out the safety car. And this might be actually good timing for us here. I think we're going to actually come into the pit lane here. And I did say the strategy could change on the run here, because I haven't done too many 100% races around here, but we're going to come into the pit lane here and chuck on the medium compounded tyres here. We make sure we get it slowed down, because obviously James took out the 60-kilometre speed limit around here, so had to be very cautious we don't get a penalty, obviously. But anyway, chuck on the mediums. Nice stuff from Racing Point. Away we go. Now, it'll be interesting to see where we pop out here, because I think it's going to be close here with myself and Toddy. I think Aaron's now also coming to the pit lane. That might be corrected, actually. He might have been on the mediums, but we're going to slot ourselves back into position 2. Is that Toddy? I don't think Toddy even realised it, though. We're slotted back in behind him there into P2 there. Sort of now back into the usual spots there. Hello. There's a little bit of a inter-team battle going on here between Lazy Towel and the Ferrari camp, between Lazy Towel and Spilly. So I think he might be, this is obviously a couple of laps earlier, but yeah, Tao eventually lets him go, and Spilly up into, I think, P9. This is what originally happened to James, so this is what happened originally the first time. So he's way off there into the gravel. I think, well, he tried to retire himself through here, but I don't think any of the marshals were having nothing to do with it there, so he's just decided, well, his car didn't crash out, one of those things, you know, that when the tyre falls off or anything, but I think he tried a little bit further up here, and then the tyre falls off in the end, so yeah, anyway, that's unfortunately James's race done here, and there's 100% special race here at the Aussie Grand Prix. Lazy Tails had to queue behind Spilly here at the pit garages, so I mean, it probably doesn't matter too much considering it's still early on, so I mean, anything is possible still around here. So he's going to go on the soft compounder tyres, I think, for the time being, but you can see we've got, obviously, we're behind, obviously, Toddy under the safety car here. I think we're under a couple of laps here under the safety car.
Zach, he's behind you.
There's a very glitchy tyre barrier off to the right there. That might have been left after what happened with Banana Josh here, but bit of an awkward moment when I see Toddy in front of me lagging, but I think that maybe has something to do with my connection. I don't actually know, but yeah, safety car is coming in this lap on lap 21, and I must say, came in very, very late, but I think we're going to manage it around here. Well, Toddy's got to have to manage it around here, considering he's the leader. As we now restart here, make sure we can get pretty close to him here, as we're about to begin lap 22 of 58, as Bogboy again is putting a bit of pressure on behind us here. And well, if you look at the top three, or if you maybe include the top four, maybe, I don't know, maybe, no, sorry, top three actually, I've got the much fresher tyres compared to these two around me. Pretty much both. Toddy came in, what, lap 14 or 15, and Bogboy came in lap 13, 14 from memory, so you'll probably remember it from when those guys pitted, or if you rewind the video anyway, you'll see. But we're just sort of trying to keep the pressure on with Toddy in front earlier, whereas I think someone...
What are your back into this?
I think that might have been... I think it was Blocky. I think it was Blocky was telling Aaron to get a move on and put his back into it. Literally, I don't know how you could do that when you're on. I think Aaron races on a pad, if I'm not mistaken. But now Toddy sets the fastest lap of the race. I think we're a little bit off the pace for the time being, but it does take a little bit of time for the mediums to come up to temperature as we run very wide, coming through turn 6 and 7 there. Sort of lost a little bit of ground there to Toddy in front there. As another one's gone off down through turn 11 and 12. I think that was the other McLaren of Garlas, and he's gone off. Might have got front wing damage there. I don't actually know, but we set our personal best on lap 23 there with a 25.8. We're still a little bit off. Toddy, I think, from memory, is now Reedy's retired from the Grand Prix in the pit lane, so I think he's had enough as well. So, but we're still not quite even halfway through the race yet. There's a little bit of a battle group dewing in front of us here. With Lazy Towel's got Spilly, Jay Schmidt, I think's there. Spilly, I think, is going to have a look up the inside here on Schmidt into turn 6, and he does get the move done. But does the other Ferrari follow? He just might be giving him enough room, only just. Might have been a little bit of a bump there, but just managed to get it done. May have had a look there on Spilly, but not quite close enough in the end. But there you go, that's him in the 9th place. Yeah, that was pretty close. I think F1 Amazing Hour is going to follow suit as well here, but obviously DRS has now been enabled. We get obviously the DRS, and we now set the fastest lap of the race for the 25.6, I think, from memory. Let me see if I can remember. 25.3. My bad. Thank God I have my notes. Anyway, but getting a update.
0.6. You're gaining by 0.3 a lap. Good work.
Because again, Toddy's still squeaky clean at the moment. But what about my teammate?
The gap is less than a second. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 11 laps old. The time last lap was a 1 minute 25.8. They have a time penalty of 6.0.
Okay, so he's got 6 seconds worth of penalties. What am I up to? I can't actually remember. If anyone's got a good count of what I'm up to with penalties, I still don't know if there's 6 or 9 as Spilly and Tao are getting close again between each other there. So like I said, a bit of inter-team squabble here. I know that can't remember actually if these guys are in the same ones for in Dynamic Nights Esports. So I could be wrong anyway. But anyway, there was a bit of squabble going on there. Here comes F1 Amazing Hour. He's going to make a move up the inside here into turn 3, and he does. There's a little bit of contact between Tao and Schmitty there, but I think he might hang on. Maybe not here, as Schmitty might have the inside line. Yes, he does. So Tao's lost a couple of spots there. But again, we're still not even halfway through the race at this point in time here. It's you see a bit further up the road, Toddy has now started to pull away a little bit here. Just a little bit surprised, to be honest, because I thought I would have had much decent pace, considering I think I like 4 or 5 lap fresher mediums compared to Toddy in front here. But if anything, looks like Wogboy may have a little bit more speed up his sleeve here a little bit, as I think he had a little bit of a look up the inside there into turn 9, but not really quite close enough here. We're literally just trying to sort of keep Wogboy behind for as long as we can here. We sort of started to close, well, try to close back as we get another 3-second time penalty. I don't know, we're up to 9 or 12 seconds at this stage. You can see we're still trying to close into Toddy in front here, but obviously we don't really want to burn up too much here. Obviously still, you can still, well, we're sort of in the middle of the race there. Schmitty goes wide there, and Tao says, "Thank you very much, I'll take that," for P10. So he gets himself back into the top 10. As now we run very wide there, coming onto the front straight there. I felt like I was going to be under attack there from Wogboy behind, but we just managed to keep him behind for the time being here. As I think there may be a little bit of a drama behind it. It might be yellow flags. I think from what I heard in the party chat was actually Lazy Towel here, as we go back on board with him coming through turn 2 there. As you can see, there's a little bit of a battle group brewing up here as well. I think Tao's going to go late up the inside of Amazing Hour, and he goes around, unfortunately. So, fortunately for Tao, that didn't quite work out to reset himself to the track there. But anyway,
Halfway, boys.
we're now officially halfway through the race. We've done lap 29. We're on lap 30 now of 58. So, finally halfway through this race here. We started to close back in a little bit on Toddy in front there, as you can probably tell there, but again, we're still sort of dragging Wogboy behind. You can probably tell from the mini-map, if you saw it earlier in the race, and even now, you probably tell there's like a few groups starting to like pull away. Obviously, earlier on it was Toddy, myself, Wogboy, and F1 Amazing Hour, but now it's, for the time being, it's Toddy, myself, and Wogboy like in one group. Then I think Gaming Burger is sort of like holding up a group behind, from like 4th down to maybe, I don't know, not probably a bit further down to 10th maybe, at a random guess. But you see Wogboy's putting a heap of pressure on us here. And you can see this is the closest that Wogboy's been, and if anything, he's got much better pace than what we do. So I don't really put up much of a fight here. We're just going to let him go here, maybe see if he can attack Toddy up in front. So we jump back to P3. You can just see, sort of checking the tyre wear here. But look at the speed that Wogboy's got on us here. If anything, Wogboy would definitely have much better pace at this rate. But again, still long race. Not doing anything silly here at the moment here. I mean, probably either a winner or the podium. If a safety car came out, or virtual safety car came out, well, maybe more safety car came out late, then we'd probably be screwed a little bit there. But anyway, we're about to begin lap 32. There you go. That just confirms that my teammate has definitely got the pace. I think he's doing a 20, what was it, a 20, I said a 25.3, so it might have been a 25.2 from memory, but can't actually remember. You probably, like I said, you'll probably be able to see it on better on your when this video comes out. I think that was Schmitty that just ran wide. But we'll get a bit of an update on my teammate.
The time last lap was a 1:25.6. You're dropping back by around 0.2 each lap. They have a time penalty of 9.0.
Okay, so Wogboy's now on 9. You can see he's putting a heap of pressure on Toddy in front.
Behind is 4.3 seconds. They're on old mediums. Their tyres are 15 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:26.1. They have a time penalty of 3.0.
That's just an update on Gaming Burgers. There's a bit of a gap behind to 4th place, so pretty much Like I said, on our own here is yellow flags behind.
Might be Zach.
Yep, Zach's gone.
Yeah, it was one of the Mercs has had a moment coming through there. Originally, I was thinking in my head it might have been Aaron, but actually, in fact, it is Zach, and I think he's had a moment or something or other in through there. But now Zach's now out of the Grand Prix, so fortunately for Zach, who started on pole, now the safety car has been deployed.
Keep your delta number positive as we form up. A new strategy is available on
Yeah,
the
100%,
MFD.
man.
But now, literally, what do you do here? As we literally close up here to the safety car here. We're literally just trying to or get past him as quickly as we can. Obviously, you've got the green light going, so that obviously means let it sort of, you can go by. Obviously, the green light wasn't on. We can't go past the safety car, but yeah, unfortunately for the pole sitter, he's out now of this 100% Grand Prix. I might have actually gone and joined the commentary gang after this one. I don't actually know here, but there you go. There's what happened with Zach coming through turns 11 and 12. Don't know whether he got any front wing damage from that or not. I don't, like originally with the first incident, I don't actually know. But anyway, this is Lazy Tail in the pit lane, going on to the mediums. I think, well, this could potentially be till the end of the race. We don't know as of yet here, but you can see there's the glitchy tyre barrier behind here. But you can see I was literally checking the race director because I wasn't actually sure how long I went on the, or sort of tried to remember how long had gone for on the soft compounded tyres. I think it was like, well, 19, 20 laps, I think it was in the end. But we're going to come into the pit lane here. We're going to have to double stack behind my teammate here, so we get a 5-second penalty. Now, obviously, I got a little bit put off with the graphic, obviously, up the top there, because it did it, like, say, teammates in the lane. So that literally put me off there a little bit there. As Wogboy now has gone in and out. Toddy, I think, in and out as well. But we now jump onto the soft compounder tyres as we get our release just a little bit wrong there, coming out of the pit lane here. But I think we're just going to manage to be getting out in front of Aaron. Just.
In front of Roscoe.
You can see.
Ah, no!
You see Aaron, he's so, I could tell that he so wanted to get in front of me under the safety car, but not quite enough in the end. We just had enough in the end. Had it been any more held up there, it would have been very, very interesting in the end. But you can now under the safety car, as Aaron gives his warning update.
3 penalties. Roscoe, oh my God, Roscoe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 penalties. I've got 1 penalty, 2 warnings. Skilly's got nothing. Berger's got quite a bit. Alright, so Toddy, you're on track to win it, just as long as you don't bin it.
Win it or bin it, baby.
So that's just a little update there from Aaron behind, who's checking all the penalty situations, as I think Wogboy got a little bit close there to the back of Toddy. But you can tell I've got a heap of penalties. Toddy has got, I think, well, might be keeping it clean for the time being.
Nah, it's all good, man. Doesn't
As
matter. It's like
Wogboy has got a few penalties as well. Obviously, we've got a ton of penalties. Aaron has 1 or 2 penalties. As Schmitty has now crashed during the safety car, coming, I think it was around the final corner there. But unfortunately for Schmitty, that's his race done and dusted. But we've still got 12 runners in this Grand Prix, which, I mean, it's not too bad. I mean, we did have 15 or might have been, well, hard to say really, when we were about half race distance, but we still had some still fair few drivers still in the lobby. It was half race distance, but I got my safety car restart very wrong there. I don't know what it was there, but literally the car would just not accelerate. As you can tell, Aaron was literally telling me to go, but you can see how much time we've lost to the top 2 already. So as we pick up another time penalty, so that will definitely not help things. So I mean, if let's just say another safety car came out, like a few laps to go here, then I think the podium is going to be a long shot here. But I think well, still a possibility.
So Aaron, if you
we can still do it.
Oh, fuck.
As you can see, you can probably hear the background us talk about it like a bit of a multi. I must say it is. It's not like a real thing for money and whatnot. Let me point that out very, very clearly. And if you are doing that, gamble responsibly, obviously. But again, it's not a real multi. It's just it's just a made-up one, but put together, I think, by NBC Alcatraz. I think does it. I don't actually know if he does it in the air. But Toddy now sits the fastest lap of the race after the safety car. We set our fastest lap for the time being on that last lap. I think it was lap 39 on a 1:23.823. But we'll stick aboard here because this actually turns out to be my fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We on lap 40 of 58 here. And like I said, still 12 drivers left here. That you can see we started. Let me get my words right. We started to pull away from Aaron behind as we go purple through sector 1 there as we run very wide, coming through turn 7.
Softs have so much speed
Turn
right
6
now.
and 7. As you can tell, Aaron, I think maybe he has made a wrong call there. Maybe he didn't feel like softs could go to the end of the race here, but obviously you can tell Toddy, Wogboy and myself started to pull away here as we go green through the sector 2 there. So you just flow through turns 11 and 12. That just felt lovely coming through there. I've got to say, might not be good for race. No, hard to say, but it felt good. Let's put it that way. I mean, this was probably the similar setup that I was running back in race spec with maybe 1 or 2 tweaks. I can't actually remember but here we go, coming around the penultimate corner into the final corner. Just running out a little bit wide. I mean, we probably could have gone a little bit quicker had we not mucked up coming through turns 6 and 7, as we set a 23.535, which actually turned out to be our fastest lap of the race, and you'll probably see why a little bit later on here, as I think someone's had a bit of a moment behind. I think it was Spilly.
Tires are 5 laps old. Heat time
Come on,
last lap
Burger.
was a 1:24.0. They have a time penalty of 18.0.
Billy's gone.
Here's Spilly, and it has actually gone in the background there, and actually you can probably tell from the graphic in the top left, F1 Amazing Hours actually got himself up into 4th place, so he's got by Aaron and maybe a few other guys from memory, but this is what occurred here. So Spilly's gone at turn 1, and there's a little bit of contact between the Ferraris again, so they've certainly been near each other this whole race. But I think may have just avoided it. I don't actually know whether he got front wing damage from that. He probably would have seen it anyway, so
Tails off track.
I think sounds like Tao maybe had another moment through there, but now we're a bit under attack from Amazing Hour pretty soon. As here, probably what happened here. So Tao up the Blocky Rex goes up the inside of Lazy Tao is what I was trying to say, but yeah, he has got front wing damage. So he must have that tap must have been just enough to give him front wing damage here as he goes in very deep, going into turn 3, manages to get away with it and loses a spot to El Tonki, so he jumps back into P9. But I think it's just the way the points with the points situation is. I think it's pretty similar for the top 10. I mean, again, it's just a little bit of fun. I don't think it's the same as the Dynamic Nights Esports, where pretty much first down to 20th you can get points all around. That's Al Todke having a moment coming around the final couple of corners there, and probably would not be surprised if he's got front wing damage as well.
Softs. Their tyres are 8 laps old. The time last lap was a 1:23.8. You're losing around 7 tenths a lap. They have a time penalty of 12.0.
Okay, so that's Wogboy's got 12 seconds worth of penalties now. But what about Amazing Hour behind?
The gap behind us is 1.2
You've got
seconds.
2
They're on
warnings.
old softs. The time last lap was a 1:23.7. They have a time penalty of 21.0. The gap to the car ahead.
Okay, so he's got 21 seconds worth of penalties. I think I might have less penalties than Amazing Hour, but I mean, he's been, if anything, these last sort of few laps here is now Spilly obviously, I think, came in for the front wing damage, and he's obviously bought a fresh set, blazed out to get the fast lap of the race. I think it was like a 22.4 or something from memory. Again, you could probably see it on your screen here. Literally coming fly through turns 11 and 12. You see Amazing Hours really slowly but surely, rapidly starting to close up here. I've literally used every word I can in the dictionary, I think, here, but I think Amazing Hours literally been pushing, or been on a bit of a push here these last few laps here. You can just see he's rapidly, surely catching me up here. And I felt like the pressure was going to start to build a little bit here. It felt like maybe we might still have him down to straight line speed here, but obviously he will have DRS, obviously. And we just managed to hang on for the time being down to turn 1 and 2. But obviously making sure, keeping an eye on the tyre wear, obviously don't want to burn up too much tyre wear as we're getting really close to the end of this race here. As, I think Amazing Al may have had a look up the inside there going into turn 3, but not quite close enough there. We managed to hang on for the time being, but I knew that wasn't going to be the only time he possibly would have a go here. Because I think we're on, what are we on, lap 48, I think, from memory? Unless my most of 6 or 8s are getting mixed up or something, but you just caught a little glimpse of the tyre wear there. I mean, it's not too bad so far. So if it's as we get a little bit sideways coming through turns 11 and 12, there, nice glitchy tyre barrier. Will definitely put us under a bit of attack here from F1 Amazing Hour, but if we go safety car free till the end of the race, then I think we should be okay. But obviously, the tyres, the soft tyre compound runners may struggle a little bit here. Medium tyres may sort of come back into frame a little bit there. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 there. Looks like it's one of the Ferraris. Might be Lazy Tail, don't actually know here. And again, we just managed to hold off Amazing Hour as we begin lap 49. As now safety car has now been deployed. As I think there's been a DNF here. I think that possibly is Garlaz in the McLaren that's DNF'd out of the race. So now this really is going to be very, very interesting there. As Toddy was asking me, what am I doing? Because it was literally up in the air. I mean, we'll get back to that in a second here, but this is what happened with Lazy Tail. So, okay, originally spun around into the wall. So, I mean, he's still in the points, don't get me wrong here, but then he's going to park up here. Sort of a little bit on the racing line, you could say. There's a few cars coming around. Oh, okay. That would explain quite a lot there, what happened with Garlaz. I don't know what the go is with Tal there, whether he wanted to make the race a little bit interesting these last few laps or what, but he's definitely made that for sure. But you see Tal's going to be held up a little bit here. Obviously, I think Spilly might have come in again, obviously his teammate, and then had to be held for another 5 seconds. Then front wing change onto the soft tyres. Nobody around him, and away he goes. And now he's the last runner in 11th place. So we're only down now to 11 runners, but back we go to us. Now, I mean, with pit stop wise, if my teammate had come in, which he has obviously come in, I was going to stay out and get track position. There's obviously is a bit of a risk, obviously, I know, but you see both Toddy and Wogboy have come in for a fresh set of softs. But myself, I've stayed out. I think F1 Amazing Hour stayed out as well, because I think we possibly want track position here. This was just basically more on track position. I felt like my tyres, could get to the end of the race, obviously. We might be under attack later on from the guys on much fresher soft tyres, and we may drop down the field here. Oh, well, depending.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Amazing.
Andrew's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Toddy's got
their tyres are 14 laps old.
1. Wogboy's got 1, 2, 3, 4.
So if Aaron gets past you,
He's got 1, 2. Nah, I
Surely
still
you
got
can go past, man. Surely you can go past.
So there's a good update again from Aaron. He's been doing a great job with the warnings updates.
You got Morn or new?
Me?
Yeah.
So he's just getting an update on who's on.
everyone's on new Rossfield Amazing.
So it's basically, I think the top two is, I think, Lazy Tower. It was a lap car. I think he's just come into the pit lane and retired from the race there. So, now we're down to 10 runners here. So you can still see the tyre wears. I had a little bit of a drink there. No, I've got maybe a little bit of the burps here. As now, obviously at a couple of laps under the safety car, as I was telling Jeff to shut the hell up because I did not want to have any issues in these last few laps here. I think after, yes, it does. So obviously safety car will be coming in at the end of coming in this lap. So usually it stays out for about, I think, well, it depends on what it is, really. If it was just a simple crash, then it might be just one lap. If it's If all the field catches up, it's 2, but sometimes it might take the field a little bit of time, so it usually is 3 laps, I think. But now we are the leader. We control when we restart here, and I mean, it wasn't the greatest of restarts here, but we're finally back racing here as we begin lap 53 of 58. 6 laps to go here. Who's going to take out this special one-off race here at the 100% race at the Australian Grand Prix? We pick up a warning straight away, so that didn't take us long at all here, but we've managed to have a nice gap in front of F1 Amazing Hour, and I was just hoping that the guys behind wouldn't get past them as quickly as they would. Obviously, Toddy, basically, it's basically the top 2 stuck it out on the used softs, which is me and Amazing Hour. Everybody else behind, I think, is on fresh softs. So, well, I assume it would be on all fresh softs. So I wouldn't be surprised if maybe someone's on a set of mediums because they run out of softs or something. But would think he had enough. And so I think Toddy was looking at Amazing Hour. But wasn't quite close enough in the end. I think Aaron may have, the sound of it from the party show, I think Aaron may have had a bit of a corner cut through there. But these guys battling behind has sort of allowed me to have a little bit of a gap here. Obviously, DRS won't be enabled until the next lap. So again, lap 54, 5 laps to go here. I think Toddy's now cleared Amazing Hour. So literally had to make hay while the sun shines while those guys were battling away, because I knew it wouldn't be too long before fresh rubber Toddy, and obviously penalty free at this stage. We may have a couple of warnings, but he's so far kept it clean skin there, as he was asking me whether I was going to make it hard or easy for him here, and I can't actually remember from memory whether I actually responded or not. So yeah, I may have not. Yeah, but I mean, I probably would have made it hard. I was going to try and make it hard for him anyway, because he's on the fresher rubber, and obviously I've got the track position, but obviously we're going to have to wait and see. Obviously the penalties may play a factor, obviously, in this race. Like I said, it is a little bit of fun here, as I think Toddy was trying to go for a move the inside of the turn 1 here. He's asking me what wings I was running down to the turn 1 there, because the straight line speed sort of kept me in front for the time being here. Now DRS has now been enabled, 4 laps to go here. So now, obviously, if he gets the DRS, then obviously we're going to be a little bit screwed there, obviously. But yeah, from memory, I can't actually remember whether I actually said I was going to make it easy or hard for him there. So I probably was going to make it hard. And if you're wondering, Toddy, what wings I was running with, I might have said it earlier in the video, I don't know, but I was running 3.7 wings for this race. So he had a look up the inside there at turn 9, I think, from memory, but we managed to hold him off for the time being. Anyway, but as now we're closely about to finish lap 55, I think. And now Aaron's now jumped up into P3, so he's another one that's got onto the fresh set of soft compound tyres. So they said the guys on the fresh rubber are going to be making some inroads very, very soon. Now with the DRS enabled, this should be pretty easy mincemeat here, and I knew I was going to be under attack here into turn 1, but I wasn't sure whether Toddy was going to make the move, and he does make the move. Pretty clean move all around there from Toddy. He now takes the lead here, and now we're under attack from Aaron and my teammate behind, so we're going to lose maybe a couple of spots in all of this, but Aaron has had a moment. I think I wasn't sure whether he actually made a mistake himself or whether he might have actually got a tag from my teammate there, but he was in a decent position to have at least get a podium, I would think, for Aaron, but with that little shove out, he's now at the back of the field. I think he's now back in like 9th or 10th or something. I don't actually know, but as now we come into turn 9, we lock the brakes up, and all the hard work now literally goes to waste. We're going to lose spots galore here, as we're now back into P7 here. Now, I've got to admit, after all that, I was literally furious at myself. But I mean, it's probably had to do with the longevity of this race, obviously, because like I said, it's not too many times that I've done a 100% race. I've probably had done a 100% race since FY 2018, so it's been a while. As Bonhard looks up the inside into turn 13, but we just managed to hold him off for the time being. But yeah, I think what's the maybe the energy levels was sort of drained a little bit here because of the longer distance. Obviously I'm used to the 50% long distance races, and obviously not too much 100% long distance races. But now, literally, I was just going to throw everything I could here in these last couple of laps and 2 laps to go. As now Amazing Hour's been either spun around or he's had a moment coming through turn 5. So now we're back up into P6. So literally everything is happening here in these last few laps as Tao's actually joined the party after he's now DNF. We had a moment coming through turns 9 and 10. So I'm not sure what I was doing with the radio. There's now Wogboy's now out of the Grand Prix. He's in the wall. So all that hard work from our teammate has all gone to, pretty much gone to nothing now on these last couple of laps.
Push now.
Toddy now could obviously will definitely win the race, barring any issues, I think, from behind, because he's got a bit of a gap. But we're now back up into P5 as Blocky, we're sort of trying to close in on, I think, Blocky. We're trying to get penalty situations right, left and centre. Everything was kicking off in these last few laps here. We're on the final lap here of this 58 lap race here. I don't know what the penalty situation is at this point. We might lose a couple of spots in the end with P5, but like I said, we were literally just giving it our absolute all here. But I think what happened with that sort of so-called multi was that if both our Racing Point cars were going to score some decent points, but I think now that's gone out the window. It might be the Williams team that's going to get those double points all round. I don't know how many the teams left are going to score double points in this race. But Toddy wins the Grand Prix. Spilly gets the fastest lap of the race at the last lap. We come home in P5, weaving across the line. We're going to drop back to P7 in the end because of the penalty situations, because there's Aaron. I think he may have jumped up a few spots in the end there, so you can probably see it on your screen there. I think Aaron actually jumped back up into P4, so oh my word. That was certainly
just killed me.
Crazy, to say the least. I think the AI car's having a bit of a moment after the race. As Altonki goes around here, but thankfully he is the last running car here, and I did notice this watching this on the way back, as he's going to actually reverse his way across the finish line to finish up in position 9, and the last of the runners here is a bit of a laugh. I think El Tonki was actually in the party as well, so oh my word, that was entertaining to say the least. So there's the podium. Toddy wins the Grand Prix. I think somehow Spilly's ended up in P2. I don't know how the hell he ended up in P2 after all of that, but of course usually he gets less penalties as well, and I think Gaming Burger was the other one that got on the podium. But oh my word, I mean, all in all, to be fair, it is a one-off. I get it, but I mean, the podium may be possibly a bit of possibility. As I think Aaron was having a moment with the live stream there, but there's the final overall results there. If you can, if I can actually see it there, I'll probably. Toddy wins the Grand Prix from Spilly and Gaming Burger. Aaron in P4. I think Blocky Rex in P5. Bodhot in 6th. Myself in 7th. F1 Amazing Hour in 8th. After all that, he in P8. El Tonki in 9th, and then you can probably tell the rest of that list from 10th down all the way to I think it was 19 or no 20 runners. Everybody down there is all DNFs, but oh my word, that was certainly an entertaining race. I must say, all credit goes to the Dynamic Nights Esports guys for putting on. That was one hell of a lot of fun, I've got to say. I don't even know if that's a saying or not, but if you enjoyed it, guys, smash that like button. As always, subscribe if you haven't. If you can leave your comments down below what you thought about that race. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more Dynamic Nights Esports racing on F1 2019, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, you can go check out the links to the other guys' footage that I've included in this as well. Plus, you can check out the Dynamic Nights Esports YouTube channel, and I'll put the link down below to the replay of the live stream if you want to go check it out from there. But that was certainly entertaining all around there. But anyway, that was the 100% race around Australia. I don't know how I survived 58 laps around here, but I think next time out we will be going back league racing again. I think the next round is actually Italy. So yeah, until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.
After a 9 lap, the French top point made a well-done return to 20.